Do you need some new gym gear and want to give back to the community at the same time? Aperio Athletics has you covered with 5% of all profits going towards the Canadian Mental Health Association. Sign up for their rewards program and receive $5 off your next order. Use code JUNGLE15 to get 15% off your first order. I got this brand new hoodie sent to me from Aperio Athletics and I am absolutely loving it. I've been wearing it every single day. The quality is incredible, very nice and warm. It's perfect. And I'm just absolutely loving it. They sent me a shirt too, also very nice and breathable material. It's very high quality stuff. So thanks to Joel over at Aperio Athletics for that. And visit the Aperio Athletics online store at aperioathletics.com to claim the benefits and rewards waiting for you. Be sure to follow them on Instagram and TikTok at aperio_athletics to be the first to know of all the latest product releases and exclusive offers. I'm very excited to bring on our next guest. He's the general manager of the Poco Trailblazers of the Pacific Junior Hockey League, Ryan Ross. Ryan, how you doing? Happy to have you.
Good, boys. Thanks for having me on.
Looking forward to it.
Real good to have a active you GM or head coach? I forget.
GM.
Owen told me, but it's already flew over my brain.
Yeah, okay. GM. So Greg, my brother, is our head coach, and then I'm the GM. It's been a crazy 3 years for sure.
Hard interview to forget. Yeah, he's a memorable guy for sure.
Well, we'll just kind of jump right in here. You want to kind of just give us your hockey background, like how you just when you were a little kid got involved in hockey or whatever it was, whenever it was for you, and just kind of your hockey journey.
Yeah, obviously I played growing up, having Greg and then Greg's twin brother Jeff, who's our assistant coach as well. I'm the youngest, like they're 7 years older than me. So, I was like the little brother. They just like picked on me the whole time. There was like legitimately photos of them taping me to the net and just firing pucks at me. But, honestly, like I just played hockey for fun. It was like never something that I actually like cared about. It was just something that, it's good exercise. And, I was like a house league player for like most of my life. And then played a little bit of rep, but nothing too crazy. And then, it was just kind of beer league after when I was done. Then I got offered to assistant coach, like a midget A1 team when I was 18. So I was like only a year older than a lot of these guys. I played against them the year before. It was with Jerry Leeper, who used to be the GM of Surrey. He was like head coach in that team. So I was like, yeah, sure, I'll come in. And
where was this?
Cloverdale midget A1.
Okay.
Or U18 A1.
Awesome.
Yeah. So it was something. I was pretty much one of the players at that rate. Like I think I just turned like 18 or 19, and I'm like, pretty much one of the guys. Like those guys are like that I coached at that time are like married and have kids now. Like that's just the craziness of it. And then when I started coaching, that's when I was like, this is actually pretty fun. I want to keep doing this. It got me around hockey, and truthfully kind of like fell in love with the game again. Which at that time, Greg and Jeff were out of it for a little while. I got a midget A2 team as my first head coaching job. And at the same year, Greg got the Bantam A2 team in Cloverdale. So we were both in Cloverdale. He was my assistant. Okay. I was his assistant. So that was when me and Greg started working together, and we've only been apart for 1 year now. That 1 year was the most peaceful ever. But there's nobody I wouldn't rather do it with. Like he's just he's such a good guy. Like it's funny because when we both left Cloverdale, I went to Burnaby. Greg went to Poco, and Greg was first in Poco. So he was doing the U15s. I was doing the U15s in Burnaby, and we played each other 8 times that year. Just so happened.
And what was that like?
Oh man. So it was like me and my buddy who was coaching the Bantam team. Greg and Jeff were coaching the Cloverdale team. So we had like a year apart, but we saw each other. Like you only play 30 games in minor hockey, and we played each other 8 times. Like it was just like ridiculous. And we went away to the same tournament without us even knowing we were going to the same tournament when we both planned it. And I still hold it over Greg. My team beat him in the finals, which is pretty big.
Oh, yeah, that's a good
That's
one.
good. That's bragging
They,
rights, eh?
that was like there was like a Norwalk virus going on. Yeah. There was a Norwalk virus at our tournament, and half of Greg's team couldn't even play. So like my whole team was healthy, his whole team was like sick, and I was like, I still hold that over. I'm like, hey, remember when I beat you guys in Victoria? That was pretty big, man.
That's
That's
awesome.
awesome.
Yeah, and then after that, I went to Poco U18A1. Greg was still in Bantam, and I started working with the Surrey Knights at that time. And that was Andy. I think that was Andy's first year, their head coach now.
Yep.
And me and him just kind of went in there, and we talked, and we just wanted to kind of just change the whole dynamic of what Surrey was at the time. They were coming off a year they didn't win a game, so really it was super easy to just be like 100% better than that. We just had to win one game, and we did.
Yeah.
Luckily, we won 4 that year, I think. But it was so much fun. Got into junior hockey that way, and yeah, it was great. It was me and Andy got really close. I didn't really know him very well. I just knew him through Jerry Leaper, and we got really close. Got to see what junior hockey was all about because I didn't play it, right? So I just always looked at it as this league I didn't know much about. So fast forward, our U18A1 team. I was doing that with Surrey at the same time. So that's when the idea of the Poco Trailblazers started kind of happening, just strictly because I was in Poco. We were getting like probably 400 fans to a U18A1 game in Port
That's
Coquitlam.
so insane.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was crazy. And then Rob Tour, who's our owner, his kid Robbie was on my team.
Right, yeah.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah. So then me and Rob, we went up to Penticton for a tournament, and he's like, "Oh, like how's Surrey? Like, what's that all about?" And we just started talking about junior hockey and how I think it could work in Poco, and kind of got Rob on board. We got Greg into the conversation, and we got 5 other owners, I think, on our team. But that was kind of where Poco started. Like we just started talking that Poco should have junior hockey. It's
Yeah.
Even now, like we're 3 years in, we still get 500 fans a night, 400 fans a night. Like it's incredible.
That's amazing.
Like
yeah.
The cool thing with Poco, like as a city, it's such a small town, but it's surrounded by big cities. But if you're from Poco, you love Poco. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
No, it's awesome. So it kind of just came up from you guys just mentioning it to each other and then just kind of talking back and forth, and then it kind of manifested into this big, this franchise expansion. Can you talk about that a little bit? Like how
what goes into building a junior team from scratch?
Yeah. Honestly, it was crazy. It was so quick too. We like applied for it in like September or October, and then we announced in January that we were getting a team. So
crazy.
It was so fast. And it was a lot of red tape, a lot of Rob's a lawyer, so thank God, because we had him on our side. But the league has been great for us. It's always, especially the core group of the league has always been really good to us. There's been never a time where, especially when we were started, it was like, hey, what can we help you with? Like Derek Bedard in Ridge Meadows and Will Kump in Richmond, they've been so good to me personally, at least. Those are 2 guys that they've been in it a lot longer than me, and I could call them and be like, hey, I'm thinking about doing this trade. What do you think? Like I could just be straight up with them, and they'll tell me
That's
if
awesome.
It's right, if it's wrong. And those 2 guys have been so good, man. And then obviously starting the team, that was like a headache. That was, countless Zoom meetings with all the owners, and with myself and Greg. Countless logos, countless names. Colors were always going to be purple yellow. Like that was kind of the thing. It was always going to be purple yellow. We knew that. But yeah, there's countless names, countless logos that one day I will show somebody and they'll be like, "What the heck is that?" You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
That's awesome. I remember when they first announced Poco, I thought it was going to be the Poco Pirates, just because, you know, me and Owen, we grew up playing against the minor hockey team, the Poco Pirates. So we
yeah,
had some memories playing against them. So
yeah. I think they
I don't
wanted a
know.
little bit of a separation for sure. I think it would have been cool if we would have incorporated it in some sort of way. Because I mean, as a hockey player, whenever I think of Poco before the Trailblazers were around, it was always Poco Pirates, right? So
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
The cool thing with like starting the team is like what I want you guys to do is go on to like an NHL video game and create your favorite jersey. And that's what you get to do. Like for me, I got to design the jerseys. So I got given the
no
logo
way.
kind of a create. Yeah. So we got given the logo, like we decided as an organization this is our logo. And then it was like, okay, let's think of jersey ideas. So it probably took me like 2 weeks to like actual narrow down exactly what we wanted. But I work at a hockey store, so it was really cool. It was like once that jersey showed up in those boxes and we opened those things up, it was awesome. I was like, yeah, that's like so crazy that the idea that we had, that me and Rob had driving up to Penticton, probably sat down that night for a beer and talked about it, and now it's here. It was unreal, man.
That's super cool, man. It's like BGM.
Must be such an awesome
Yeah.
experience seeing it all actually come to life. It's super cool.
I didn't really have that much experience either. Like, like Rob kind of took a shot on me, right? Like, me and him had a good relationship. He was my assistant coach in U18 when we had Rob, and took a shot at me. Like, Greg belongs in this league for sure. Like, it didn't matter what team. Greg was going to be in this league, and I think Greg can be out of this league. Like, I still think he's, brother aside, I think he's one of the best coaches in this league, and it's not even close. For me, like, I don't know. Sometimes I like still think that I sit there and I'm like, oh well, it's really cool that I'm a GM of a junior team, like because it's just one guy who took a shot at me and he's got my back, I got his back, and since then it's been some really cool experiences. We've got to learn a lot, we've got to win a lot, we've got to lose a lot, but it's been really cool for sure.
That must have been scary, man, jumping into that.
Yeah, like I had the 1 year in Surrey that like kind of prepared me for it, but like not really, man. Like it was such a different animal. And that year was the year that Richmond like lost one game all year, and we played them I think 8 times. Like we went in thinking, "Oh yeah, we're going to be sick." Like I got all these like young guys. I'm like, "Oh yeah, we're the new Vegas Golden Knights. Like we're going to win the championship this year." And then we got punched in the face 40 times.
Oh, that's funny. Well, yeah, I mean, like, how did that recruitment process go? Like, getting guys in from scratch. I mean, obviously, like, you coached Rob and bringing in Marcus from Ridge, like, local guy. But just how does that, all happen in the first place?
Different than I do it now, for sure. To be honest with you, like before, like our first year, it was kind of like I'm gonna go to a bunch of minor hockey games. I'm gonna go to a bunch of U18 games, and you still do that, but you don't do it, in like at the end of the year. Like you kind of have to create relationships as you go. And, we have a lot of relationships with, the U18 zone guys and the academy guys and stuff like that now, which I think you can recruit for 2 years from now today. Like that's kind of how you have to do it. Now, when we were a brand new team and we had 8 months to do it, it was kind of, ID camp and see what happens and see what we bring. Luckily we got Marcus and luckily we got Robbie Tour that year. We signed Blake Van Straten, who we still have. For our howling, we had to. We got him out of ID camp.
Oh, yeah.
I got a good howler story for you guys later. I'll save that one.
Beautiful. Okay.
Yeah, and it was just, it was almost too easy at the time. You know what I mean? We probably should have known better. Like, but at the time, I didn't know who some of these top end guys were in the league, and a lot of that's on me. And um, I think we learned so much from that first year that when we got into our second year, everything kind of changed, right?
Yeah.
We brought in Charlie Gardner, which, funny story about Charlie Gardner is he was on my Burnaby team and Marcus Jack was on Greg's Poco team. So Marcus and Guards, who've been line mates for the past 100 games, they played against each other 8 times and probably hated each other's guts at one point. So
Yeah.
it's pretty funny how that works. But yeah, we started with Gardner, and then we ran into Humphreys. I knew Humphreys from just my day job. Brought him in. He brought Lucas Baxter in. Then out of nowhere, Braden Wynn signs with us. Bailey Awanis. And then we still had Marcus Jack, and we still had Van Stratton. We had all these guys that, we got Brandon Pollock at the deadline of the first year. And he plays for SFU now. He's having a great year. So, last year, a lot of our success was based on, the older group that we had, right? Like the 05 age group. Obviously the 04s of Awanis and Wynn and Derek LaRue, like those guys were big for us as well. But, if I never ran into Tate Humphreys, I don't know what our year would have looked like that year. And sometimes pains me to say that because Humphreys is sometimes the most annoying guy in the world. And, but I will say him and Baxter and Marcus Jack, all of them are gone this year, at the end of this year, and Poco looks different without him, for sure. They really, those 3 guys really helped change Poco, for sure, and they set us up for the future, like going forward. They put us on the map.
Yeah, for sure.
DraftKings Sportsbook, an official betting partner of the NHL, is built for the fastest game on ice. With player props and live betting every shift, every shot, every save gives you options to get in on the game with DraftKings Sportsbook. Owen's team, the Pittsburgh Penguins, minus 330 to make the playoffs right now. And you know what? If you are a Flames fan, you could also bet and throw away your money. Plus 2,200 for the Flames to make the playoffs. Obviously, odds subjected to change. But if you're real confident in your team, you can throw a little bit of dough on there. New customers bet just $5, and if your bet wins, you'll get $300 in bonus bets instantly. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code THPN. That's code THPN to turn $5 into $300 in bonus bets if your bet wins. In partnership with DraftKings, the crown is yours.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort in Kansas, fees may apply in Illinois. 21 and over. Age and eligibility varies by jurisdiction. Void in Ontario. Bonus bets expire 7 days after issuance. See sportsbook.draftkings.com/promos. NFL Sunday ticket offer for new subscribers only and auto renews until canceled. Digital games and commercial use excluded. Restrictions apply. Additional NFL Sunday ticket terms at youtube.com/go/NFL Sunday ticket/terms. Limited time offer.
Well, one other thing I wanted to ask about this season, I mean, obviously you guys ended up making one of the bigger trades I've ever seen. Obviously not like going to ask any details about that or anything, but just more generally, what goes into like making these trades, like how crazy of an experience it is, especially like a 4-for-1 like that.
Yeah, honestly, it was pretty crazy. Well, I'll put it to you this way. I'm not going to go too much into the details.
Yeah,
about,
no problem. Sorry.
Where the leagues are or anything like that. But we were planning to play 7 different teams than that we're playing now. we got told in August that
Yeah.
we were going to get moved up, end of August, that we were going to get moved up to, or moved over, I'll say, and play the likes of Ridge and Richmond and Delta. And, we signed some young guys, some lottery ticket guys that, were minor hockey players that have done great. They've really come into their own. A guy like Tyler Duffel, for example, like that guy played Langley U18. If it's a different league, we're planning for a different league. Who knows if he makes our team at that time? But a guy like him's come in. He fights all the time. He hits guys. He learns. So we were planning on a different group to play against, and maybe a little different of an outcome of what our year was going to look like. Excuse me. And we got moved up, and all of our guys came back, which is great. We didn't lose anybody to, a higher league, let's say. But the standings itself, it's, we see where we were at come trade deadline time. And I was in constant communication with Ridge at the time. They're interested in some of our 20-year-olds for sure. And I mean, like, how can you not be interested in Matthew Buros, right? Like, the guy's a stud. I still think he's one of the best players in this league. I think he's one of the best pure goal scorers, without a doubt. I mean, he's got 10 goals in like 11 games with Ridge. Like, he had 4 against Cholak in like the first 12 minutes of the game. He never did that with me though. But the thing is we knew that we were super old. We had 9 20-year-olds at the time, and the guys coming back were young guys, were young rookies, and we knew that it was going to be a lot of recruiting for sure. Still is going to be a lot of recruiting, but anytime where you can make one trade and you get 4 high-end guys back, the likes of Appizato and Kalinowski and Graveline coming back with us. And Appizato is a 2007. He's an 18-year-old who's already over 100 games in the league. He had 10 points last year in the playoffs with Ridge when he won. So, you lose 2 months of Matthew Buros, but you get, 3 years of these other guys. And it was really hard for sure on a personal level, because Matty was like my guy. I walked into the rink, and me and Matty would always dab each other up, and it was great. And I don't think that Matt would have ever asked me for a trade.
Gotcha.
Like, he was just always so happy to be there, and he cared so much. He had so much other stuff going on in his life, and that guy cared so much. But at the end of the day, in a role like I'm in, you have to make a decision, and it's not just a personal decision. It's not just a decision for one player. I have to look out for 25 other guys that are on the team right now, plus 25 guys next year and the year after. So on a personal level, it was really hard to get rid of Matty, but I think he's happy where he is, and we love the new guys that we got. Graveline's a stud. Appizato's a stud. Kalinowski, I didn't know too much about him, but now he's been here. I don't think he's ever going to come out of our, top 6. So it's been great. Awesome. For sure. It was when me and Derek made the deal, we both talked about how the fact that it was probably the biggest PJHL deal of all time.
Yeah.
I haven't seen a trade like that ever.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And so far, it's just looking like an absolute win-win for both sides. Obviously, like you said, it's always tough to depart with a player of Matty's caliber, and like you said, a great person as well. But it's seems like it's working out for literally every party involved so far. So it's really cool to hear about your experience behind the scenes with that. I kind of just my last question before I want to ask about some of these stories you have is just what's your kind of outlook for the future now? Like, how are you, your own personal future, and as well as the Poco Trailblazers, not just this year, but in kind of the long term?
Yeah. It seems like we're going to play Ridge in the first round, which I don't know if that's a Buros revenge tour or Appizato Graveline Kalinowski revenge tour. It'll be one or the other.
Yeah.
for sure. Obviously, we're gonna go in there, and Greg always says, playoffs are like playing poker. All you need is a chair and a chip, and anything can happen. So we'll go in and we'll do our very best for sure and see what happens. The other thing too is we have a really good group coming back. Like we got Pavan, Graveline, and Apizzato playing together now, and that's our first line next year. And all those guys are high end players. Like Austin Pavan has been a stud. Like I think Pavan on any of the, let's say, Richmond Ridge, that team, he probably is putting up similar numbers to the Ridge guy who's probably going to win Rookie of the Year. I forget his name. Sandu.
Sandu, yeah.
Just going to be like him. Pavan comes every day. He wants to work, and the kid's a 2008. And having him for the next few years, I always say to him, I'm like, you're the next Marcus Jack. And I honestly think he can be for sure.
Yeah. That's awesome.
And then obviously, going forward, we started our own spring league this year. So just out of Poco. So it's just for Poco prospects. It's going to be 4 teams. I think it's like 68 players combined. So a lot of recruiting, a lot of eyes, whether that's for next year or this year, or 2 years from now. Like, it's great to have those guys in the organization now, which is huge. And then there's another spring league that just started with all the other teams. So that'll be fun as well. It'll be a busy off season. Hopefully I can golf at some point.
Yeah, you got to get a couple rounds in, eh?
For sure.
Speaking of recruiting, I mean, you talked about Farrar Howling, but like anything, I think the story with him is going to be funny, but is it to do with how you found him?
A little bit, yeah. Like,
yeah, okay.
So
I kind of want to get into that.
Here's the story about Nick Farrar Howling. So Nick Howland, he's one of my favorite guys. He's so funny and he's so emotional, and you can really get him fired up by just saying 1 or 2 words to him. And when I was coaching in Poco with Greg, when I eventually went from into Poco, it was the COVID year. And Nick Farrar Howland, we played against Port Moody. We only played like 5 games that year or something. And we played against Port Moody Minor, and Howler at the time was, I think, a first-year Bantam. And he leveled one of our guys. And honestly, super clean hit. And he destroyed this poor kid. And he gets thrown out of the game. He gets thrown out pretty much because it was a big hit. It wasn't dirty or anything like that.
Yeah.
And Nicky, it's at the Port Moody rink, where the Olympic ice. And Nicky has to skate across the ice, and he goes on the other side, and he takes off his helmet, and he's 13 years old at the time. He takes off his helmet and hammers it against a brick wall. Just loses his mind. And I look over at my brother, and I'm like, this kid's awesome. Like, he just destroyed one of our guys, gets thrown out for no reason, and then he's just the angriest guy in the world about it. And he's 13. And like, if you guys know Howler, like he's been on the pod before. Like, he's the nicest kid in the world. Like, you talk to Nicky off the ice, he is the nicest guy in the world. But a switch goes sometimes, and you don't know if you should back up or try to console him. Like, he's just the funniest guy in the world. And the thing is I actually work with him now. Like, I got him a job at the hockey shop. So
no
I can't
way.
escape the kid by any means. Like, he's with me like 24/7, and it's thank God I like him. That's for sure. And the one thing I will say about Howler, he gets he gets it a lot. Like guys chirp him, and he's a rat, right? Like I think he's king of the jungle. I mean, he's proved it for sure. But Nicky will stick up for anybody. It doesn't matter if in the dressing room, you're chirping at Nick and Nick's chirping at you, and you hate each other in the room. Nick will stick up for any single player on our team. And he'll stick up for an AP that comes out to one practice. He's just an ultimate team guy and such a good dude. But I do like it when he gets mad. It's pretty funny sometimes.
That's awesome.
That's awesome.
I think that was a great story.
No, that's great.
Yeah. The other guy I do have to say one more quick story about Marcus Jack.
Yeah.
So Marcus, he when me and Greg were in Cloverdale, we played Marcus Jack in Bantam when he was with Poco. It was the first time we've ever seen this kid. And I don't remember it too well. I think Poco won, and Marcus was like 4'8", and he was chirping me and our coaching staff and our entire bench when he won a President Series game. And now it turns out we're what, 7 years later, we haven't had a year without him since. The kid's awesome. Like, he's over 200 points, I think, 150 games. Him leaving is going to be the weird one for sure.
Yeah, big time. Yeah, he's
going to be kind of
guy.
This is going to be kind of your first experience of that, eh? Like, losing a guy that you've kind of brought up all the way. It's kind of almost emotional at that point where you've seen this guy grow throughout his hockey career. So that's got to be a new experience for you.
Yeah, that'll be a weird one. I think it'll be harder on Greg for sure. Greg and Marcus are very, very close. I think but it opens the door for all these new guys, Appizato and Pavan, and even Ryan Berlin once he's healthy. Like, we have so many good young guys on our team that are still learning and still growing. It opens the door for those guys for sure. And they've got to now have a year or two looking at Marcus Jack, and the kid's a celebrity in Poco. If you come to a Friday night Poco game, all the kids love Marcus Jack, and it's awesome, right? You get to see how he does it every day, and hopefully that opens the door for the next Marcus Jack.
Well said.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Well, Joe, do you have anything else? And then I just kind of got one more thing to end off on.
No, that was my last point, was the 20-year-old's aging out. Just wanted to talk to you about that.
No, that was good. So yeah, I did speak to your brother before this, and he told me to ask you about the fact that in practice, anytime he's talking, you're always shooting pucks. Is that true?
Yeah, it's true. That's I'm so bad for it, man. Like, so Greg has a rule that if you shoot a puck after a whistle, we skate. So I make sure that I don't shoot during that time. But then, he sometimes talks at the board and he's not talking about a drill, and I get bored on the other end of the ice. So I'm firing pucks at Cruz or Deli or McVicker, and I don't hit the net often. So it's super, super loud. And I get fined for it in court like once a week, I think.
That's awesome.
That's funny.
Oh, I love
you guys must get in a bunch of arguments, eh?
Yeah, but honestly, we both want to win, and we both have the same goal. That it doesn't really matter that like he's my brother. It doesn't we're both so competitive that it's healthy. Like, we don't really do it at the rink that much. We don't do it around the guys. The drive home, if Greg's calling me on the drive home, I know I'm about to get bitched out for sure about something. And he, like I said, man, I truly think that he's one of the best coaches in this league. Like, I learn stuff from him every day, and it's great. I think the guys are lucky to have him, and however long he's in junior A tier 2, that guy's destined for a job bigger than what he has right now, maybe a Western League job or something like that. So yeah, we do bitch at each other a lot, but it comes from a good spot for sure.
That's awesome.
Well, I think that's a pretty great note to end off on. Thank you so much for doing this, for your time, and for doing it kind of last minute too. Like, I know we planned to have you on, but we appreciate you jumping on this quick. And yeah, that was an awesome interview. It was really cool to hear about the GM side of things and a couple good stories about the boys. So we appreciate your time. Thank you.
For sure. Thanks, boys. I appreciate you guys.
If you like the show, please take a moment to rate, review, and subscribe. It really does help the show to grow. Thank you for listening.